What's up, folks? Today I'm going to show you a bunch of game calls that you probably didn't even know you already had. If you own just a simple turkey diaphragm call, just a turkey mouth call, that's nothing more than a couple pieces of vinyl cut to a certain shape with a little aluminum ring and some basically athletic tape, if you own a call like this, you can actually make a ton of different animal calls. Now, there are people who are experts at calling and are way better at this than I am and can do all these calls and actually do like calling championships and stuff like that. So don't hold my feet to the fire too much. I'm not an expert at any of these things. I'm just showing you the concept that you can use this to do a lot more than just a basic turkey call. So this is a Primus diaphragm call, but I don't necessarily have a particular brand that I like more than another. I've had good experiences with lots of them, and even price doesn't seem to matter that much. I've seen some that are really expensive that sound about the same as some that are, you know, mid-level. This exact one I actually bought on clearance at Academy for like $3 in the off season. So it's not purely a matter of spending more to get a better call. Now if you buy, you know, one that's really junky, it might not be as versatile, might not sound as good, but a lot of your mid-level calls are going to be just as effective as your high-end calls if you know how to use them right. So, of course, you can do just some of the basic turkey sounds. The most common just being the Yelp. That's probably the most common call I use when turkey hunting, because that's basically the call that always means, hey, I'm a hen, I'm over here, come find me. A lot of the other calls and combinations can mean different things, but the Yelp is almost always going to work out well. Now, of course, you can do stuff like the purr, but a lot of times I like to follow the purr with some yelps. And now you can also do cuts and cackles as well. And again, a lot of times I like to use that to kind of simulate maybe turkeys are kind of cutting up in the trees, they kind of cackle, fly down, and then they're yelping. But those are just some of the basic turkey sounds you can make with this. But let's talk about some of the more bizarre sounds you can do with this exact same turkey call. So if you've done any coyote hunting or predator hunting, you know the most common sound you do is a mammal in distress, usually a rabbit, mouse, something like that. It's that panicked, squealing, frightened sound that is a bit weird and is a bit eerie, but it immediately catches the attention of any coyote, bobcat in the area and pulls them in. So you can actually do that same sound, that squeaky sound, with the turkey call. It's a weird sound. Now, instead of just pushing this to the top of my mouth and kind of using the back of my tongue and saying yomp, 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 yomp like I would with the Yelp, I'm actually using my whole mouth to kind of shape the sound. And so my mouth is saying hoo-ah, hoo-ah, hew, hoo-ah, and it's making those sounds blown across the entire turkey call that give you that weird kind of frightened rabbit sound that'll call in a predator. Another sound that you can actually do with a turkey call, now you can get calls specifically for this that sound way better, but if you're in a pinch and you just have a turkey call, you can actually use it to make an elk bugle. Now they make mouth diaphragm cow elk calls that are actually similar to this. They're shaped a little bit different and have a little bit different sound, but they work on the same principle. Basically two latex reeds up against each other in your mouth, and that's used for a cow call a lot of times, but you can actually use this to do a bull elk call. And to do that, I'm basically pinching it as tight as I can across the top of my mouth and blowing really fast air across it. Now the speed of the air, I start off slow and then get really fast, hold the note, and then slow it back down. So that's how you get that ramp up, hold that really high note, and then fall off. So I'll do it again. And depending on kind of where you hold the tongue, you can kind of change the amount of rasp to it. The first one was a bit more clean, that one was a bit more raspy. Another call that you can actually do with the diaphragm turkey call that you can actually even use as a turkey locator is just a crow. To do the crow call, you're going to want to kind of flutter tongue. You're going to roll your tongue and go and so you're rolling your tongue as you're blowing, and you're not really pinching the call at all. It's just kind of sitting in the top of your mouth. And you're not even really making a syllable. It's almost just pure air with this. And that just sounds like, you know, crows make a whole bunch of different sounds, but that sounds like the one they make the most when they're just saying, "Hey, I'm over here. Come find me. Let's go somewhere." And so that's just your standard North American crow. Another sound that you can also kind of do with this, it's not as good, but it's still a possibility, is the snow goose. Now that one's a bit odd because normally you don't hear just one snow goose. Normally it's a whole flock of them, and you're probably not going to be super effective just pretending to be one snow goose, but it's a possibility with just a regular turkey diaphragm call. So it just kind of increases the library and potential sounds you can do with this one call. Another call that you can do with a standard turkey call that I'm surprised a lot of people don't know about this. There's a lot of people who, you're probably seeing this and you're probably going to say, "Yeah, I've known about that for years. Yeah, everybody knows about that." But there's a lot of people who don't know about this. So just a regular turkey box call that you normally use to make hen sounds, like a Yelp, you can actually use it to make a gobble. And that can save you bringing one additional call into the field. If you're normally bringing a box call, you don't have to bring a gobble call as well. Now, gobble calls like this one, this is an HS strut. And like I said, I don't really have a particular favorite brand. If it sounds good, I'll use it. But this sounds pretty good as a gobble call. So basically it's got this top rubber part that wobbles and a little small reed down here. And basically you open this up and all you do is shake it. And it sounds pretty good. It's a little too deep and a little too floppy in my opinion. But at a distance, it'll absolutely make a turkey shock gobble back to you. But getting back to the box call, you can do that same sound with a box call. So you might wonder, how does this turn into this? All you have to do is bring a rubber band with you into the field. So you just take that rubber band, wrap it around the box call, and I like to bring it down pretty low on the call, and that just basically holds the box to the paddle, and you just shake it in the exact same way. It takes a little bit of practice, but it sounds pretty good. Again, I like to keep this down low because if you get it too high, you've got a whole lot of wood flopping around here and the sound is a little bit clanky and it doesn't sound quite right. And you might want to experiment with what size rubber band works best for your call. Maybe some of the bigger calls you need a rubber band with a little bit more tension. I found just this standard grocery store size rubber band works really well for a call this size. But yeah, just bring it down here, and you don't have to just shake the living daylights out of it. Just give it a little shake and it'll sound pretty good. And so that's how you can take just a regular box call and turn it into a gobbler call. So if it's bringing one more call into the field versus not, sometimes that makes a big difference. So hopefully between the box call and the mouth call, you learned a lot of different sounds that you can make with turkey calls. So I hope you found this helpful. Calling is something I do when I'm out hunting. It's not really a topic I cover much on my channel, but I just thought other people would be kind of interested in these techniques. So if you have any questions, let me know below. Maybe I can answer them. Hope you can get out turkey hunting this spring. Until next time, stay safe, be free, and never stop seeking adventure.